Good morning to all my subscribers, and thank you very much for commenting on my songs and the lyrics. I'd like to explain that they are real life stories and I have made songs out of them. The thing is today is that we live in a world where we have a lot of grief and suffering, and we have people that have lost their way, and a lot of people have heartbreak, losing loved ones, and when you think about it, you think about where your life is going and how you're going to achieve what you want to in this life. And often the case is we can stand still at a crossroads and we just don't know which way to turn, whether it's left or right, or we go forward. And this is where you go into a career path, and sometimes you get sick of the job that you're doing and you want change, but you don't know what sort of change that you want. Or you're having trouble in a relationship and you're waiting for this person to come to you and it doesn't happen, so therefore you get impatient and you think it's never going to happen. Then you're also concerned about your children, and I understand that because having 3 children of my own and 14 grandchildren, I totally get it. But at the same token, I wrote a song that I love you about children, and what that song was about is how children, often the case is, they think that the parents are wrong and they've done the wrong thing by them, and it's a lack of understanding, a lack of communication between child and parent. And then they become disgruntled with you and they don't talk to you. And this goes on with families for a long time, and years pass by. And it's a real waste of time, really, when you think about it, because family is family and we should all stick together. But it doesn't work that way, and it doesn't happen that way, because children, and even in their adulthood, they still feel that they are right. And often the case is as we get older, the children then become our parents and they look after us in old age, and that's how they see it. But it doesn't have to be that way. We can look after ourselves in old age. We don't have to have our children look after us. We can plan ahead what is going to happen to us when we turn 70, 80 or 90, and put plans in action, and that's what we could do. And I believe by doing that, it's going to make less stress on your children and less stress on you, because there's nothing worse than when you're getting older that you don't want to be put in a home or retirement village, but a lot of elderly do like to go into those places, and if that's the case, then so well and be, that's good for them. But in some cases, a lot of people don't. You'll see some of the songs where it comes to karma, how we create our own karma. We don't, a lot of people have friends, and I'm sure you have in the past, that just take from you and don't give, and you get fed up with that, and then the friendship dissipates and you don't have a friend anymore. Then in a relationship, because separation in the world is great today, and the thing is the fact that when you separate, that gives you an element of grief as well, because it's an ending. When someone dies, it's also, you don't see them, even though they are still real. They're there in another dimension, and they're with the angels and they're being looked after. It still doesn't stop you from missing their company. So these songs that I wrote, like with Karma, I Love You, about a mother's love for her children, losing you is another thing. When two people are on the verge of breaking up, the communication seems to go really downhill, and before you know it, they've separated, and grief then becomes attached to that. And when you have a look at your life, you have a streamline of grief that you haven't dealt with, and you carry it on as the years go on. And that's pretty sad, really, because I believe that if you're going to separate, which is not something that I would like for anybody to do, but you need to do it amicably, so that if there's children involved, then of course the children don't get affected by it and they have an understanding of why. Often the case is as well is when you love someone, we often put conditions on it, and I always categorise as love as a blank piece of paper. The only time it becomes distorted is when you say, oh, she must do this, he must do that, she must do this, he must do that. And then that's called control. And then the love gets distorted. So you're better off to keep it as a blank piece of paper and just love unconditionally. Then you don't have a problem. But, you know, I do know past, present and future, I do. And I have left my number and my email on my posts, and you can get in contact with me if you need to know something. I deal with a lot of people and all walks of life, children, adults, even pets I can tune into. So the most important thing today is you, and in each song, when you listen to the words that I write, as I said to you before in a previous video, people will not like them. Some people will, some people won't. Some people relate to them, some people do, some people won't. So it doesn't really matter. The most important thing is the people that do like them, that they can understand that in this life, we either make the most of it and do what we need to do to be able to get on with it and have a peaceful and enjoyable life. Anyhow, I just wanted to thank you again for subscribing to my channel. And just to tell you a bit about me, I have a farm and I have chickens and I have 2 Jack Russells that I love dearly. I class as my children, actually. And I believe in God. I always have done all my life. I followed Jesus Christ all my life. I don't go to church because I believe that God is within me, and I don't need to go to church to prove that I love God, because I do. He's everywhere. And the thing is, it's the fact that, you know, I pointed out before, often what you see isn't how it is, and often thought forms create separation. And when I wrote something about the devil believes in you, you may not believe in the devil, but he believes in you. Well, he does, and he creates all the havoc in the world today. Visualize the Knights of the Round Table. Lucifer put God to the test. He said he would get every one of his creation to serve him. Now, back then, God could have turned around and wiped out Lucifer completely, but he couldn't, because all of the other archangels were around. And he then said to Lucifer, well, okay, I'll give you a certain amount of time for you to turn my creation against me. And that's what's running the show today, is Lucifer. So if God said, go into the world but don't become a part of the world, he meant that Lucifer's running the show. And that's what I'm saying to you today, is the fact that he is real. He believes in you. You may not believe in him. If you don't believe in God, he believes in you. So as there is a battlefield going on in the heavens, there is a battlefield here on earth, and they can go through governments as well. Wars, floods, fires, famine. And there's enough money in the whole entire world so that no one can starve. Do you know that, really? Well, there is. So that's my video for today, and I will be in contact with you soon. And if you need any questions answered, please do not hesitate to contact me. Have a wonderful day, and many blessings to all of you.